Hey fam, it's your girl Michelle Franklin, Miss Michelle Allen Franklin, honey, Miss DI. Why? Because there are no coincidences in this world, only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Miss Community Builder, why? Because you know your girl is giving you the good information, honey, the things that you need, who you need to know, what you need to know, why you need to know it. About what? Your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions. Yes, it's called holistic wellness is what we're doing over here. Yeah, it is March the 1st. Where January and February at? Gone. Okay, January and February are gone, baby. It is March the 1st. Can you believe it? So much has happened. So your girl is coming in because for the month of March, I thought, Lord, it's so much crazy happening. There's so much grief and so many people that are grieving and so many things that are happening. And one of the things that I know that happened with me when I initially started dealing with grief as an adult in 2015, my big mama and my stepfather passed away. And those of y'all that follow me know this. I spiraled into depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and recently was diagnosed with PTSD. And so been dealing with that. But in the midst of it, I started teaching. Why? Because I thought there's such a lack of resources. Your girl's a nurse. I've been a nurse and I've been a nurse educator for the past 23 years. And so I thought, man, if I didn't know and if I've been suffering, how many more people are out there suffering? And so I started teaching. And one of the things that I've learned along my healing journey is depression is not only losing someone, right? Depression is a stage of grief. And so when I started teaching and I started learning and getting very intentional about my life and my healing journey and going back and looking at traumas in the past and all of the things, right? I learned that it really wasn't just depression alone. A lot of it was grief. The grief is just simply a loss. And so it dealt with the loss of relationships that I thought I was going to have. It dealt with, um, and that's as far as a loved one. That's as far as my family members. That's as far as relationships with the opposite sex. You know what I mean? And so it played a role in so many things. And I thought for a while I was depressed for all this long time, but really it was grief. And so I started teaching about grief, and God gave me grief. I have been, again, being very intentional about what I speak about, and I always pray for the Lord to just show me. And I had a thing back in 2021. If you follow me, you know it's called Success Fest. I did back in 2021. And when I initially did it, I did it about, your value and being worthy and all of this. And taped the whole thing. I taped the whole thing, did the whole episode. It was an international, it was my first international stage that I was on, virtually. It was amazing. But taped the whole thing. And then I realized something just felt wrong in my spirit. And the guy was like, Michelle, how you feeling about it? I said, I feel like I need to do it again. And he said, well, it costs $75 and it's due on Wednesday. I said, I really don't have that $75, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to pay for it anyway. And I did. And when I started praying, because I didn't know what it was, but it was something. But when I prayed about that, Lord gave me grief. And what I realize now in all the few losses that I've had in my life in the past year, and even back in 2015, it was a heaviness. It's a hopelessness that comes with grief. And a lot of people are suffering in silence. And so the fact that he gave me that, I feel like it back in 2021, I feel like it was preparation. Because what it allowed me to do is it helped me to stop looking at it from a lens of pain and hurt and what I lost. And it helped me to look at it from a lens of gratefulness. What did my big mama bring to my life? What what can I take from the lessons, from sitting on the porch with her, from talking, from, just her laugh. The lady was hilarious. Do you hear me? The woman was hilarious. Okay. What could I take from her strength? Her same strength when I'm feeling weak is running through her blood is running through my veins. And so the strength that she had, I said, okay, I got to go into some battle and I got to go into some spiritual warfare. So I say to you, anybody that's out there grieving, what can you take from the loss? What can you take from that person? What lesson can you take from that relationship? You know what I mean? Because how are you looking at that thing? We tend to look at it from just this negative perspective. Instead of looking at it, we all have to go someday. We all know that all situations are not going to last. We know that people come in your life for times and seasons, right? And a lot of times the people that we've been holding on to and holding on to and holding on to, and God removes them from our lives, it ends up being a blessing in the long run, doesn't it? Sometimes. Most times. Right? Or you'll never think, man, I'm never going to find. And then the next relationship is way better. Or you find somebody that's going to love and appreciate you. But you was, grieving over somebody that has been maybe mentally, physically, or emotionally abusing you. Right? And so it's so interesting how if you just take some time to shift your mindset and look at the things from a positive way. Okay, Lord, what can I take from that? What lesson can I learn? From my stepdad, I thought about all the things that he taught me in my childhood. Going to the grocery store, being able to buy food in bulk and break it down and put it in the freezer. How to balance my checkbook. You know what I mean? It was just so many lessons. How to plan a trip. You know what I mean? Like, not having to have all the money, but just plan it out. Save your money. Put a little bit to the side. You want to go on a trip in 6 months. You want to go on a vacation. It's doable. You don't have to try to have all the money at one time. Plan your work and work your plan. That was his thing. That was his saying. Plan your work and work your plan. And so it made me look at life differently, and it helped me to heal, and it helped me get to a place of gratitude. And so for the month of March, I'm going to come on every day and I'm going to talk about gratitude. Before, I used to be in a space where I could find, some positive in the midst of the crazy. And you can ask my friends, I would always find some positive in the middle of crazy. My oldest daughter, I'm always got to find some positive in the middle of the crazy. But life got a little dark for me for a period of time, and I couldn't see light, and I was trying, but it wasn't authentic. And so I prayed. I'm like, Lord, help me to get back to that place. Help me to get back to this place of gratitude. And the Lord led me to a group last June. And so every day, we've been going through this book. It's by Rhonda Byrne. She is the same person who is one of the co-authors of The Secret. It's called The Magic. Rhonda Byrne. And there's some holier than thous out there they don't like the word magic. but it's not for you, apparently. If you feel some kind of way about it, it may not be for you. And I'm okay with that. This has helped me tremendously to come back and find the gratitude in just the day-to-day things and just the simple things, because we take life for granted and we take the people in our lives for granted. We take just the air that we're breathing for granted. We take that the lights are on for granted. We take our parents for granted. We take our loved ones for granted. We take time for granted, right? And so what gratitude does, and being very intentional about practicing gratitude daily, and what it does is it helps you to get to a place of peace. It's helped me to get to a place of joy. And so that is what I'm going to do is every day. Every day in the month of March, I'm going to talk about gratitude and the lessons that I've learned. And so, really quick introduction is she talks about being younger. And remember how when you were younger and your imagination would flow and you would look at the smallest things, you would be so excited. You know, you were excited about the tooth fairy. You were excited about Christmas. You were excited about, all the little things. And then life starts lifing, right? You become an adult. And then you can't see, all the little things. You don't believe anymore. And so understanding that there are little things that have happened in our lives. I feel like there are angels around us, when the birds sing, when the birds appear, all of the little things that, again, that we take for granted. And so she talks about seeing magic in the little day-to-day things. And somebody out there is like, Michelle, this is crazy. We're adults. Nobody has time for that. You're probably the main one that needs to do this. If that was your first thought, you're probably the main one that needs to do this. I know I zoomed and zoomed and zoomed through life so much. I got to go here. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to go this. I got to stress out so much that I couldn't see all of the little things that were right around me. And so gratitude is said to be a universal law. So I'm going to read this little bit. This is God proclaimed. If you are grateful, I will give you more. But if you are ungrateful, verify my punishment is indeed severe. And so it's like, that was from like the Quran promise of gratitude is equally empathetic. That is the old law, right? But it's like God wants us to appreciate him. He wants us to appreciate all of those things around us. It says gratitude operates through a universal law that governs your whole life. According to the law of attraction, which governs all the energy in our universe, from the formation of an atom to the movement of the planets, like attracts like. It's because of the law of attraction that the cells of every living creature are held together, as well as the substance of every material object in your life. The law operates on your thoughts and your feelings because they are energy too. And so whatever you think and whatever you feel, you attract to you. Now, I know this to be true. I can remember some years ago when I just felt like everything was going crack. Okay. And this is years ago. I was in my 20s. And I remember every time that something would happen, I would say, what else? Oh my God. What else is going to happen? What else is going to happen? What else is going to happen? And guess what? Every 2 to 3 days, something else would happen. It was almost like I was inviting that negative energy in. Pay attention to it, right? When you ask what else, when you say something negative or you think something negative is going to happen, you be like, I knew it. I knew it, right? But did you invite that energy? What I've learned along my healing journey is that we are energetic beings having a human experience. Everything is energy. And so here we go. If you think, I don't like my job, I haven't got enough money, I can't find my perfect partner, I can't pay my bills, I think I'm coming down with something, he or she doesn't appreciate me, I don't get along with my parents, my child is a problem, my life is a mess, my marriage is in trouble, then you must attract more of those experiences. But if you think about what you're grateful for, like, I love my job, my family is very supportive, I had the best vacation, I feel amazing today, I got the biggest tax refund ever, I had a great weekend camping with my son, and you sincerely feel the gratitude, the law of attraction says you must attract more of those things into your life. It works in the same way as metal being drawn to magnet. Your gratitude is magnetic. And the more gratitude you have, the more abundance you magnetize. It is universal law. So I ask you today, if you're in the midst of crazy, what are you drawing to your life? What are you saying? The Bible says there's power of life and death in your tongue. What are you speaking over your life? What are you speaking over your children's lives? I'm asking you because I had to ask me. There's no judgment. Don't get me wrong. Listen, there's no judgment here. I'm asking you because I had to ask me. Because I was in such a negative space that I couldn't see anything positive. I couldn't see any positive things happening, even though most people will tell you I'm like a very positive person. But it happens to the best of us when you get into darkness and you get into a space and it's just like things are happening. Life is life and it's very hard to see the light, but I promise you the light is there. And so every day this month, that is what we are going to do. Join me. We are going to talk, not long, 15, 20 minutes. We're going to talk about gratitude and the magic and how you can start seeing, the little things. I realized after my dad passed and my big mama passed, my stepfather passed, I started seeing this little red bird, right? And right after my dad passed, I started seeing this little red bird. And excuse me, because my father is still living, but I refer to my stepfather as my dad. It confuses people. It's confused people my whole life, but he treated us like we were his own children. You would not have known anything different. And so I've always referenced him as my dad. So I just don't want anybody to be confused because my father is very much alive and I love him to pieces. And he is very much a father and a dad to me. So just want to clarify. But nevertheless, I'm seeing this red bird every time I'm having a hard day. I see this red bird. Every time, I'm feeling some kind of way about something. And it's kind of just like I get this overwhelming feeling of you're going to be okay. It's going to work out. You're okay. Don't worry. And I do feel like for people out there that's longing for a sign, that's longing for a message, it starts in gratitude. You'll start seeing the little things. I promise you that. and you'll be able to appreciate life, and you'll be able to look at things a little bit differently. And that's what it is. Life is about, getting to purpose. Life is about getting to appreciation, getting to gratitude, being able to get to a point where you can give back. But what are you putting out there? Because don't nobody want all that negativity. No, no. Get your energy right, right? So that we can walk and be who we're called to be. That's what this month is about. Getting your energy right. So that you can walk and authentically be who you're called to be. That's what we're doing this month. We'll talk a little bit more. My 20 minutes is up, honey. It's your girl. It's your girl, Michelle Franklin. I've been down a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but everybody has those valley moments, right? Everybody has to go through a valley. Psalms 23. But God is with us. He's walking with us. His light is with us. It's shining through inside of us. Even when we don't see it, even when we don't feel it, it's still there. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're shining a light on gratitude for this month of March. So stay with your girl. All right. All right. I have come what I have been. I've come and done what I've been assigned to do. The Lord literally gave me this morning. Literally gave this to me this morning. And I said, you know what? I'm going to share my journey of gratitude because somebody needs it. Somebody's in darkness. Somebody needs this. And so whoever you are, I pray you see some light in the midst of your darkness. It's your girl, Michelle Franklin, Miss Michelle Allen Franklin, Miss D.I. Yes, there are no coincidences, baby. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. And like Mr. Les Brown, honey, I aspire to inspire until I expire. That's what I'm doing. What you doing? Get you some gratitude in your spirit. All right, y'all have a good one.